Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Turning Pages, the podcast that celebrates African literature. My name is Vuvu Vena. Today we are visiting South Africa in a review of Cynthia Jele's debut novel, Happiness is a Four-Letter Word. We are of a folklore heritage. We were conceived in the womb of beautiful words, birthed into a captivating world that we've spent eternity trying to name, tell, retell and paint. Wrapped and cradled in stories, intsomi namabali. Our words create worlds. They transport, they mirror, they convict, they give lashings and hugs. They create and can never be undone. To hide between the pages of a book is to find pieces of yourself before you even were. Welcome to Turning Pages, the podcast that celebrates African literature from the continent and the diaspora. I'm your host, Vuvu Vena. Cynthia Jele was born in South Africa's Mpumalanga province. She first got the attention of the literature community when she won first and fourth prize in the 2008 PTA Anglo Platinum Short Story Competition. She holds a BA in International Business from North Central College in Illinois. Happiness is a Four-Letter Word is her debut novel, and it was published by Kwela Books, an imprint of NB Publishers, in 2010. The book has won numerous awards, including the Commonwealth Writers' Prize in the African region. 6 years after it was published, Happiness was adapted into a big screen movie with the same title. Cynthia sits in a number of literature editorial panels, and through the Happiness Press Foundation, she supports initiatives that promote reading and writing among young people. She's not a full-time writer. By day, she's a manager in the CSI space. Her second book was published in 2018 under the name No Zizwe, Cynthia Jele. Cynthia lives in Johannesburg with her daughter. Set in the busy city of Johannesburg, Happiness is a Four-Letter Word follows the lives of four black females in their mid to late 20s. Right from the start, we feel like we've been given a peek into their lives, as though they've been living and we are catching them on but one of the seasons of their lives. This particular season revolves around Nandi's wedding, which the other three ladies, Dumi, Princess and Zaza, play important roles. Nandi, a divorcee, is now set to marry what could possibly be the most perfectly written man in literature, Thomas. Though the focus seems to be on her at the start of the story, there is no mistaking that this is their story. As individuals and as a unit, everyone else is an accessory, and Cynthia does well to remind us of this in the way that she almost makes all the other characters invisible or as by the ways in this narrative. On the day that we meet each of these women, something significant and life-altering is happening in each of their private and romantic lives. Each event is significantly different, yet there seems to be a common thread that weaves them all together. Cynthia has done well to explore the romantic lives of Black South African millennials at a time where it seems the democratic dream is still attainable. Having been raised in a different time to their parents and perhaps distinctly different socio-economic settings to each other, the nuances of present-day life are well told in her capturing of each of these women's challenges and joys, as well as their day-to-day lives. She uses their romantic relationships as a vehicle into a conversation about the young Black woman's socialization in post-apartheid South Africa, her ambitions, dreams, and desires, as well as her downfalls and obstacles. The book also has a strong commentary on the need for women to have each other, to know each other, and to be unconditional and unapologetic in their love for each other. Almost to say we can hold each other accountable in all spheres of life, and these female relationships are enough for any season we may encounter. We are enough. Happiness is a beautiful tapestry that communicates the imperfection of love. In the story, we see that no one relationship or one person has it all together all the time. It's about how two imperfect people in love or in friendship come together and make it work against the odds and in spite of the hurdles. I first read the book 10 years ago, and I recently reread it less than a year ago. I will admit that my gathering of the messaging a decade ago is completely different to what I'm relaying now. I'm completely different. For my initial thoughts on the book in 2010, kindly visit my blog www.vuvuvenareads.com, where you'll find that original review that first appeared in the Mail and Guardian newspaper. I rated Happiness as a 4-letter word 4 out of 5 stars. The characters and the story were very relatable and believable. For a debut novel, I think Cynthia did something exceptional for the black girl who started seeing and unpacking themselves through these characters. If you read it 10 years ago, it may be a great time to revisit this jewel, and hopefully, like it did with me, it will find you changed so that it can teach you anew. That's all for today's episode. Thank you so much for tuning in. Please don't forget to rate and review this podcast. Any engagement on any of my platforms means a lot to me. And until next time, remember, every page turned is something learned. Keep turning pages. I'd love to hear your thoughts about today's episode, so why not search for me on social media? On Instagram, I'm Vena_reads. On Facebook and Twitter and YouTube, I'm Vena_reads. And you can also find me on my website, which is www.vuvuvenareads.com. And until next week, I really do love you guys. Bye now.